succeed. You are not too young to make a difference. You are not too young to contribute to the economy of Nigeria. As a matter of fact, the best time to be alive is when you're a young person. Trust me. Because when you're young, you have the energy, the passion, limitless opportunities. How many of you here have applied for one job or another? You've applied for a job before. Can I see your hands up? Very good. Now, for people who have applied for a job before, you would be able to mess with me that a lot of jobs have age limits. True or false? True or false? So, do you know what that means? It means that if you play today, you will pay tomorrow. Is somebody listening to me? If you play today, what will you do? You see, every single face of man has certain things that has to be done. If you miss the boat, you're going to regret it in the future. And that is the reason why, you see, life is in phases, men are in sizes. The question is, how can you play a significant role in the economy of Nigeria? And I'm going to try to break it down as simple as possible. And of course, today, I'm going to tell a lot of stories. So, let's start. There are 4 ways you can influence the economy of a nation as a youth, as a young person. There are 4 ways you can influence the economy. Number 1 is the labor force. Now, when I say labor force, of course, I mean actually getting paid employment. You see, a lot of us think that the only way to make a difference is to own a business. Or, okay, let me ask this question. How many of us want to own our own business? You want to own our own business? Okay. All right. I can see that not all hands are up. That is very, very good. In some other places, when you ask them, in some other places, when you ask them this kind of question, everybody go like, yeah, I want to own my own business. See, the thing is this. You can make a difference even when you're working in an organization. Even when think about it this way. Do you think that all business owners are successful? Are they all successful? Do you know that there are some people who are working in organizations that are 10 times richer than some people who are struggling with small businesses? True or false? So it's not so much of you owning your business, but the most important thing is making a difference. I want you to tell your neighbor, say, make a difference. You see, you can make a difference even when you're working in a place. The key thing is vision. So one way to contribute to the economy of a nation is actually as a worker, someone who is employed in a place. All right? Now, I'm going to tell us more stories about that. But there was this story that I came across in the internet, I think some days ago, where a gate man found money. I don't know if you've heard stories like that. A gate man found a lot of money, and if it was you, what would you do? I mean, you're just a gate man. How much is your salary? And then you find a lot of money, right? So what would you do? Okay, what do you think the gate man did with the money? Did he run away? He returned it. I can hear some ha, right? So imagine your salary is 30,000 or 40,000, and then you see $3,000, not naira, right? And then this man returned it, and a lot of people were saying, what is wrong with him? Is he okay, right? Or is it the village people that are playing Ludo inside his head, right? How can you return this money? But guess what? It was a sense of purpose. This man understood that it is not money that will make you rich. Is somebody listening to me? It is not money that will make you rich. It is the value. It is the value that you create in the world that will make you rich. So therefore, even though he was a gate man, it was a gate man with a purpose. You can be a secretary in a place, in a small place, but you can be a secretary with a purpose. It is the way, it is how you do what you do that makes you different. It is not so much of what you do. You see, there are teachers and there are teachers. How many of you remember that one teacher in secondary school that made you hate a particular subject? Can I see your hands up? You hated the subject because of a teacher. Can I see? Oh, very good. Very good. I had a further maths teacher that would enter the class when I was in SS1 and say he would teach us, he would basically be reading from, and you know you cannot read maths now. You're supposed to work math. He will read and ask, if you don't understand, let me see your hands up. Of course, all hands will be up. You will now say, okay, oh yeah, put your hands on your eyes and say after me, Olorun jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ o. Is that how to know further maths? In the same school, when we got to SS2, somebody else started teaching us further maths. And do you know what? Even people that did not like further maths, people that were taking economics and Greek, they will come and join us in the further maths class. They will sit down at the back and watch as this man will break further maths apart. A lot of people had distinction, including myself, in further maths because of this man. His name is Mr. Olakpade. Because of this man. The way he taught. So even though he was an employer, even though he was working as a teacher, he was a different teacher. I want you to ask your neighbor, are you different? No, look for somebody else. Are you different? You see, even if you're a student in a class, a child to your parent, you will notice, and I'm sure you've noticed this, that usually in families, parents do tend to prefer one person or show more love to one or two more persons. Am I correct? Am I correct? Now, the question you should ask yourself is, why are my parents, focusing so much attention on this person? That person is doing something different. I'll give an example from my own family. What I discovered was that my parents would usually, our second born, they usually show him more love, more care. And I was trying to understand why, right? Is it that the other ones are not children too? Are we not? But do you know what I observed? I observed that he was doing something differently. Let me give you an example. So let's say on a Saturday, when we wake up, everybody wakes up, and we are trying to watch wrestling or just do something, he will go meet my dad and mom and say, "Sir, ma, is there anything I can help you with? Any clothes that I can wash for you?" And guess what? They will look at him and go like, "Wow, this is a responsible son." And they will see the remaining people watching wrestling. So, who is the responsible son? Who would they show more love towards? Can we now understand? Can we now understand? A lot of times, we struggle for things in life, whereas we are not contributing enough. You see, your life will only grow to the extent to which you contribute. A lot of times you want to take. But the question is, what have you given? And do you know what? You cannot give what you don't have. So the first way to contribute to the economy of a nation is actually by working in a place. Not everybody here will become an entrepreneur. But the question is, even if you're working in a place, what kind of work are you making? Somebody said something. He said, if your presence is not felt and your absence is not missed, you are only existing, you're not living. Let me take that again. If your presence is not felt and your absence is not missed, you're only what? Ask yourself, if I am not in a place, let's say you're in a choir, right? Or let's say in your school, in your department, you're a student. If you don't come to class, will people know that you're not in class? But do you know that there are some people that even if they don't come to school or church for 1 month, there are some people that you wouldn't even notice. 3 of us. Aha. Now, if you're in that category, I believe that by the end of this conference, you would change. There would be a change in your life. That is the whole essence. There will be a change in your life. Now, that's the first way to contribute to the economy of a nation. That's the first way, which is joining the labor force. Somebody say labor force. No, I can't hear you say labor force. That's the first way to contribute to the economy of a nation. And when you join the labor force and you're working in a place and you're earning salary, I hope you know that when you buy, the action you take when you buy, I hope you know you help the economy. Every single time you buy something, you are making somebody else richer. Have you ever thought about it that way? Every single time you buy something, you're making someone richer. You're making the economy what? More fruitful. Now let's move on very quickly to number 2. Number 2 is civil society organizations. CSO. The second way you can contribute to the economy of a place is by being active in a civil society organization. Now, you might be wondering, so who are the CSOs? What are they, right? They are people who launch awareness and advocacy campaigns. In other words, let's forget all the big grammar. They are like the NGOs. How many of you have heard of NGO before? You know an NGO. Anybody here? Very good. Very good. They are the NGOs, non-governmental organizations. And I'm going to give us an example. I'm going to give us a very practical example. How many of us have heard of budget before? Budget. Okay. Yes, I can see somebody shaking his head. Thank you so much. Now let me explain what budget does. Now, before budget came on board, the only way you could understand Nigeria's budget was if you were an accountant or, somebody that had financial knowledge. How many of you have seen the budget of a company or maybe the budget of your state before? Or maybe a complex budget before? Okay, let me ask another question. How many of you have come across the financial details of a company before? They usually print it now, give it to shareholders. Those things. If you've ever seen one before, you know that it is very difficult to read. Am I correct, ma? Very difficult. Almost like Greek. But you know what budget did? They simplified Nigeria's budget. They made it into beautiful things like graphs, pie charts, bar charts, so that you can see, by just looking at the beautiful pictures, exactly where the money is going and what the politicians are doing with your money. And guess what? Because of that singular thing, now in Nigeria, politicians are sitting up because of one singular thing that they did. That's CSO. I will give you another example. In 2013, I went to a particular orphanage. And it was not even something that I organized. It was a friend that said, I want to celebrate my birthday. Let's go to this orphanage. I'm like, okay, let's go. Then I went there to this particular orphanage in Ile-Ife, in Osun State here. And what I saw was serious. We met kids. There was this particular girl that we met, about 10 years old, a lady. She was not wearing slippers, no slippers. On her head, what did you think was on her head? Lice. What do we call tomano? You know, right? That was also on her head. Then I asked them, how are things here? They said, that in this place, we share toothbrush. I want you to follow me. Orphanage. We share toothbrush. As a matter of fact, the last time we took our bath with soap was 2 weeks ago. I'm like, excuse me? 2 weeks ago. A lot of them did not even have slippers. So many things they didn't have. And I felt, wow. If so many, these things are things we take for granted. I mean, soap. How much is soap? How much is toothbrush that we are sharing? And I felt, let's do something about this. But just like many of us, I procrastinated. I did not take action on that idea that I had until 2016. I procrastinated. But in 2016, I decided, it's time to take action. And this is what I did. I spoke to some friends of mine and said, can we do something about orphanages in Nigeria? Can we organize? Can we mobilize for them? And what we did was, we simply reached out to people, use social media, WhatsApp, everywhere. And we asked them, please donate, join us. Let us show love to orphanages during this December period. It's a program called December to Remember in 2016. So in 2016, what we did was we were able to visit about 6 states, with about 300 orphans, and we gave them gifts, clothes, shoes, even though they were second-hand. You see, a lot of the things that you discard and throw away are what some people consider as treasure. The things. They were very happy to receive those gifts. Bags, shoes, clothes, food. And in 2017, we decided, let's take this a step further. I mean, we've touched some lives, we can do more. And in 2017, we said, okay, instead of Nigeria now, we're going to reach out to orphans across West Africa. And guess what? In 2017, just this December last year, we were able to reach 3,000 orphans across 5 West African countries. And what was the message? First of all, it was a message of hope, of love. We gave them food supply for 1 month, gave them free medical supplies, clothes, shoes, a lot of things that we gave to the orphans. And do you know what? What makes me happy is the smile on the faces of these orphans. It's the fact that some people remember them. I have never met any of them before in my life. Right? But the fact that people who had not even seen these orphans before contributed money. A lot of the things we had was just donations from this. Now, why did I do that? It was because I felt strongly in my heart to give back to society, to help people in the society. So when I'm talking about civil society organizations, you don't necessarily have to start an NGO, but you see, you have to have a consciousness of giving back. One of the problems of the black man is that the black man or the black woman always likes to take. We have an entitlement mentality. You see, the more you give, the more you get. Where is the hand of the giver? When somebody is giving you something, where is always the hand of the giver? Where? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And so where should your hand be? You see, if you continue to do, give me, where will your hand continue to be? Down. You need to find out a way to give back to the society. It might not be going to the orphanage, but I'm sure there are people in your environment, in your area, in your school that need some things. Some of the things that you take for granted that you just discard. You can be a blessing to someone. I want you to look to your neighbor and say, be a blessing. No. That person is not saying it well. Look for somebody and say, be a blessing. So you can be active in the civil society space. You don't even necessarily need to start an NGO. You can, start a movement. You can volunteer in a place. Find a way to give back to the society. You see, life is not just about you. The true measure of a life is not in the duration, it's in the donation. Let me take that again. The true measure of a life is not in the what? Duration, it's in the what? Donation. Let me remind us. Methuselah. How old was Methuselah when he died? 900 and what? 969, Abi? What was recorded about Methuselah in the Bible? Who can tell me? What do you know about Methuselah? Yes, tell me. What do you know about Methuselah? He what? Sorry, I can't hear you. He was the oldest man. So apart from that, what else do you remember? What was recorded about him? Nothing. No, something was recorded though. If you read Methuselah and he begat, am I correct, sir? And he begat, He begat, Methuselah was just giving birth up and down. Yeah, that was the only thing that was recorded about Methuselah. Am I correct? He begat, and he begat, but nothing meaningful was recorded about Methuselah in the Bible. Nothing meaningful. Now, how old was David when he died? 70, right? But how many things were recorded about David in the Bible? Opagon, I like that. So, would you rather live long like Methuselah and make no difference? Or would you rather live, say, 70, 80, 90, 100, and when you die, people are crying. The world is like, my God. Which one do you want? A long, meaningless life or a long, purposeful life? Which one do you want? So, I can't hear you. Which one do you want? Thank you very much. So, it's not about the duration of the life. It's about the donation. The donation. You have to have a mentality of giving back. Giving back. Tap your neighbor once again. Say, give back. Very good. So far we've talked about 2 points, which is number one is let me see if you've been following. What's the first way to impact your economy? I can't hear you. Labor force. What's the second way? Very good. Civil society organizations. The third point, and before I quickly move on to the third point is actually business. Now, business. Of course, I'm a businessman, so I'm very excited about this point. Before I move on, I want to tell you a story of something that happened during my service here. How I affected the economy of a local government. So I served in 2014-15 in a place called Omala. Is there anybody from Kogi State here? Anybody? Kogi State? Oh, nobody from Kogi? You're from Kogi State? Wow, where in Kogi State? Sorry? Kaba. Kaba is where our camp is now. Asaya camp. You know that's where NYSC camp is. So I know Kaba very well. Okay. So nice to meet you, ma'am. So I served in a place in Kogi State called Omala. I hope you know Omala. Okay? Now, when I was given the posting letter in camp, even the police officers, the military people that were there, they were saying, hey, yeah, pele. I was like, no. I didn't understand. I was like, how can these people be consoling me over a place? I didn't understand until we embarked on the journey. 3 hours, 4 hours inside the same state, oh. Kogi is big. Am I correct? Very wide. Kogi. Okay. Kogi is also the only state in Nigeria that shares borders with 10 other states. Yes. Do your research. 10 other states. So Kogi is that's why it's called confluence now, local Jai especially. Now, let's go back to the story. So when we got to the local government, right, it was very dark at night. And how many of us have served there? Or maybe you are serving as a core member. Anybody? Core member? Okay, you passed out. Okay, some of us are passed out. Okay, all right. Now, when we got to that place, usually in NYC, what happens is that the core members that are already there, they will welcome you. They'll be waiting for you, welcome you, dancing, all of that. So when we got there, it was very dark at night, and we asked them, please, is there light in this area? They said, no problem. There's lights, no problem. It's just that there's no light. 6 months after, when we asked them again, they said that was the same thing that the core members that were there before they told them. Yes, there was no light in Omala. They deceived us. No light. Somebody say 1. I can't say 1. So 2. No bank, no ATM. You think it's a joke. You remember the military people were consoling me that time. Okay. No bank, ATM. So we had a few people doing paga. Just 1 or 2 in the whole community. So even to use paga self, you queue up or maybe tell them that I'm coming. No, if you are going by 6, you already told them in the morning. It was crazy. Sometimes you have to go to another town or community because you want to withdraw money. The road, very bad. There was no standard market. Water, no water. I had to be buying water. I was my own local government. Now, that is even very small. The very first day class, I was supposed to teach mathematics. And I was very excited as a core member. Like, yeah, let's go there. And then I jokingly asked my GSS 3 students, I said 5 times 5. Guess what happened next? Can you just guess? They were pressing their calculators. I was like, Besereo. See, in this part of town, even children in primary 1, am I correct? They can multiply 5 by 5. So I'm like, these people are supposed to write their, Wayekabi, and they cannot multiply 5 by 5. How exactly am I supposed to teach them? I knew 2 sets of people were in trouble. They were in trouble because they were not ready for the exam. I was in trouble because I didn't know how to do magic to help them. But guess what? That was not even the end of the story. So I asked, do you have a library in this school? They said, yes. I said, okay. I went into the library. Guess what I met? A decorated refuse dump. When I entered, refuse greeted me. Refuse said, welcome, sir. The books in the library were older than myself. Somebody's clapping, Abby. They have a library, Abby. Now, all of these things were enough to have discouraged me. Guess what? In fact, a lot of people, there's something in NYC called ghosting. If people have sat before they're here, they will understand what I mean by ghosting. Ghosting is that when you are posted to a place, you will go there and appear, and you will disappear. And the next time they will see you is when you're passing out. You will just come and say, hey, I have served. A lot of people ghosted. Nobody wanted to stay. But guess what? I stayed. I said, I would make a difference in this community. So the first thing I did was that I started working on the psychology of my students. When I enter the classroom, I would tell them, stand up, say after me, I'm a star. In fact, I'm a superstar. I read, I lead, I succeed. I made sure they started repeating that. And then instead of spending 40 minutes with them in the class, I would spend 80 minutes. I would spend extra time to explain. In fact, we first started from multiplication table. Before we graduated, we explain, spend extra time with them. And then I noticed that, see, if you want these kids to read, you have to do something about the library. So what did I do? I donated a lot of books to the library. I renovated chairs, took out all the refuse, right? And then I had inspiring quotes, motivational quotes on the walls of the library, so that if you enter the library, you'll be inspired by just looking at the walls. They were now beautiful, right? So, another thing that I did notice was that they didn't have educational charts. How many of you know all these charts? Diagram of the high, the heart that we have in some of our schools, right? In the entire local government, there was not a single chart like that. And what I did was, of course, I have skills in graphics, and all of that. So I just said, I can do some research on Google and, give this chart. And what I did was I donated 110 of those charts to 11 schools in that area. But that's not all. We as young people, we love competition. True of us. One of the ways that I encouraged them to read was I started organizing competitions within the school, competitions also inter-school. So the kids that were not reading before, that were not serious, they like to show off to their friends. They want to show off that, that I know book now. So they started reading. And the kids that couldn't multiply 5 by 5 started beating other schools. I'm like, wow, this competition thing is really working. But I also noticed something. That some of the kids will come late to school. Imagine that you're coming to school by 9 o'clock. And then they will also be sent back away from school. So imagine you come to school by 9 and you are sent home by 11 a.m. How many hours of education have you had? Have you had education at all? Exactly. So now, how much was this school fees that they were being sent home for? How much? Can you guess? 1,500. It was a government school. And I felt we could do something about this. Now, I knew that it was not because the kids were unserious that they were coming, because some of them will have to hawk things, help their families before they come to school. So I felt, why don't we empower these kids? Guess what? I knocked on the doors of some of my friends, disturbed people, and said, let us organize skill acquisition for these kids. So we taught them how to make bow tie, we taught them how to make beads, taught them how to make chin-chin cake. And guess what? Before I left that local government, some of them had already started selling chin-chin to their friends in the community. They already started making money. And then they could not afford to pay their own school fees without relying on their parents. That was one way that I affected the economy of the local government. But that's not even the most interesting part of the story. When I finished my service here, the day before we passed out, I just got a phone call from local judge saying, hello, is this Benga? I said, yes. Please be here by so in Lokoja. You're going to be meeting with the governor. The way I ended my service here was shaking the governor, getting the recognition. But that is not even the interesting part of the story. 2 years ago, I got a phone call from somebody in that class that could not multiply 5 by 5. And I said, hey, who is this? He's introduced himself. I said, how are you? He said, fine. He said, sir, I just checked my jam score. My heart first caught, like, bam. He said, sir, I want to thank you so much. I'm like, what's the score? I want to thank you so much for your impact. Thank you so much for believing in us. I just checked my jam score and I had 250. Now, from the same class where they could not multiply 5 by 5, somebody did not only pass jam, he smashed jam. You know the man what funk, huh? He smashed jam, gained admission from the same class where they could not multiply 5 by 5. Now, that is what I call impact. It is not in the awards that you get, it is not in the recognition that you get, but in the lives that you touch. I want to turn to your neighbor and say, touch a life. No, look for somebody else. Say, touch a life. That is what it means to make an impact and affect the economy. affect the economy. You don't have to be an economist to affect the economy. The third way is business. Number 3 now. I'm moving on very quickly. Number 3 now is business. Business. You see, business is very, very important because how many of you know that there's a lot of unemployment in Nigeria? How many of you know that? Okay, let me ask another question. How many of you know at least one person in your family or in your area that does not have a job? How many of you? You know at least one person. All of you, the people you know have jobs. Let me see your hands up. No, let's take a census. I know at least one person that does not have a job around me. Let me see your hands up. Can you see? Almost everybody, you know at least one person, right? So unemployment is a serious problem. Now, one important reason why you should think about business is that we need to solve unemployment in Nigeria. See, Nigeria as a country is sitting on a time bomb. And you all are not too young. If you have too many young people who are jobless, guess what? The armed robbers that rob at night, are they old people? No, are they old people? The Yahoo boys that do the deals on the internet, are they old people? The area boys you see on the street harassing everybody passing by, are they old people? Now, if you can think about starting a business that will, solve a problem and affect lives, do you know that your business can also employ people? As CEO of ePower, for instance, we have about 6 or 7 team members with our contract staff, the cleaner. And guess what? Even though the salary may not be so much, but some of them are supporting even their families, supporting their dreams through the stipends that they're getting. And they are very fulfilled because of the work that they are doing. As a business owner, you can contribute to the economy of a nation because you are providing jobs. I hope you know businesses pay tax. True of us. So you are providing jobs to people who need jobs. You are paying tax to the government. And more importantly, you are solving problems. So as a business owner, it is a very good way to contribute to the economy of a nation. So let me ask again. How many of you would like to start businesses here? Anybody? Am I alone? Okay, I can see a lot of hands. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Now, basically, I'm also going to talk about how you can become an indispensable player. But number 4 now. So before I go to number 4, let's quickly do a quick recap. What's the first point? I can't hear you. All right. What's the second point? Very good. Civil society. What's the third point? Business. Very good. Now, the fourth point is public service. Public service. Now, when I'm talking about public service, I'm talking about government. Participating in government, either as a civil servant or as a politician. Now, some of you might be thinking, politics is dirty. How many of you have heard it before? Politics is dirty. You've heard that statement before? Okay. How many of you believe that politics is dirty? You truly believe that it is dirty? Let me see hands up. Okay? I can see some hands up. Now, the question is that if it is dirty and all of us in the body of Christ are running away from it, so who are the people that will clean it exactly? Have you ever thought about it? The dirty people. Who are the people that will... No, people are saying politics is dirty, Abi. And all of us, we are running away from it. So who are the people that will clean it? I want you to turn to your neighbor and say it is you. Oh, no, look for somebody and say it is you. Now, point to yourself, say it is me. Oh, yeah, point to yourself now. Point to yourself. If we continue to complain that politics is dirty and we don't take action, guess what? Hooligans will continue to rule us as a nation. Yes. You see, when people of integrity refuse to take action, people of corrupt minds will continue to what? Rule us as a nation. Now, you don't necessarily have to be a politician in maybe PDP, APC to make a difference, right? You can also be active in politics, as a civil servant. But more importantly, okay, how many of us are above 18 here? Let me see hands up. You are above 18. Can I see hands up? Above 18. Very good. Now, I want you to keep those hands up. Above 18, keep your hands up like this. Keep it up. Keep it up. We are going somewhere. Keep it up. Don't bring it down. Now, I have my PVC. Put your hands down. Can we see? I can still see some hands up. Now, this morning, I am sent to you. The people that have not picked up your PVC. I'm sent to you. Guess what? You can say, my votes do not count. My votes do not count. But why do you think politicians spend so much money to buy votes? It's because your vote counts, actually. I am begging all of you, before this PVC registration closes, go and get your PVC. It is not enough for us to be shouting on social media and say, hey, that governor is a bad governor. Oh, this one is a constituted authority. Okay, did I just mention a governor now? I know I just said constituted authority. Is that the name of a governor? Okay, so, it's very easy to attack all these people and say, oh, this one is like this. what about your own role? Get your PVC. Be ready to vote. Contribute. And more importantly, play an active role in government. And even if you're too young to vote, you're not too young to know about what is happening in your own country. You see, one of the things that I've noticed about we young people is that because we consume a lot of foreign material. If I ask now, some of us prefer foreign films to our local films. Am I correct? Because we consume a lot of all these foreign things, we are even more conversant with what is happening in the United States than what is happening in our own backyard. True of us. You need to take an interest in local news, in what is happening around you. Be current. Be current. I want you to tap your neighbor. Say, be current. No. Look for somebody and say, be current. Yeah, be current. Know what is happening around you. You can play a role in government. You can play a role in politics. Let's not leave it for people and say it is dirty, it is dirty, it is dirty. So those are the 4 ways that you can contribute to the economy of a nation. Now, takes me to part 2. Part 2 of this presentation, which is, how do you become an indispensable player? You see, there are only 2 categories of people in the world. There are brands and there are commodities. I want you to pay attention. If I were to give you a gift right now, between an iPhone, I hope you know iPhone, Apple. Between an iPhone and a Nokia 3310, which one would you be happy to receive as your next birthday gift? iPhone versus 3310. Which one do you want? Nobody wants 3310. Why? Because 3310 is a commodity. You see, just like we have products that are commodities, we also have people that are commodities. Let me explain the difference between a brand and a commodity. You see, a brand is any product, service, or person that is hard to substitute and easy to differentiate. I'm going to take that again for the sake of people who are writing. A brand is any product, service, or person that is hard to substitute and easy to differentiate. And I'm going to explain. Now, if I bring to you pure water and bottled water. Thank God we have water. In fact, I think, very good. Between this and pure water, if I were to give you, present to you something on the high table or just something to appreciate you, which one would you prefer? You don't want pure water. Why? Is it not the same thing that is inside? It's not the same thing. So what's now inside this one? Is it juice? Is it not the same thing that is inside? It's the same content now. But why do you want this? Somebody say branding. Oh, I can't hear you. Somebody say branding. You see, when you are a commodity as a person, it means that you are easy. Okay, let me quickly give you the definition of commodities before I explain fully. A commodity, for the sake of people who are writing, is any product, service, or person that is hard to differentiate and easy to substitute. Hard to differentiate and what? Easy to substitute. And I'm going to give you an example. When was the last time you checked the name of the pure water before you drank it? When was the last time you checked? When was the last time you checked the maker of the razor blade that you bought before you used the razor blade? When was the last time? Do you ever check? Like ever? When was the last time you checked the name of the toilet roll that you bought beside the road before you used the toilet roll? Okay, but let me now ask you a different question. If you want to buy, how many of us have phones here? We have phones. If you want to buy a phone, will you do research before you buy the phone? Yes or no? So you will not just go into the market and say, any phone. Why do you do that? Because your phone is a brand, especially if you use, a high-end phone, and the pure water is a commodity. Now, let me bring it down to us as people, as individuals, right? If you're a student in a class, and you don't go to school for 1 week, and nobody's asking after you, you're a commodity. If you are in the choir, and you don't attend meetings for 3 times, and nobody gives you a phone call to ask how you are a commodity. Yes. If you are a member of this church, this ministry, and nobody can point to one thing that you are doing or in one department that you're not contributing anything at all, you are a commodity. Yes. You see, because what is a commodity? Someone that is what? Hard to differentiate and easy to what? Substitute. But let's talk about brands now. Do you know that there are people in this ministry that if they don't come to church, even bishop will be looking for them? True or false? Do you know one person in your class that if that person is not in class, even all the teachers are asking after that person? True or false? Now, the question is, can you be that person? Can you be that person who people are asking about? People are looking for you. You are in high demand. I want you to say after me, I'm in high demand. Oh, no, you're not saying like me. Say, I am in high demand. In order for you to be in high demand, you have to live your life like a brand. Live your life like a brand, not a commodity. And I'm going to give you 4 tips on how you can be indispensable and be a brand. Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay. Number 1, focus on a problem. I know some of us are hungry, right? It's food. I know. We'll round up now. Number 1 is focus on a problem that you are passionate about. Focus on a problem that you're passionate about. You see, the world always remembers problem solvers. People who solve a problem. People don't remember consumers. Now, in Nigeria, the reason why I'm confident that you can make it and you will be great is that there are so many problems in this country. And guess what? Problems are opportunities in disguise. Is somebody paying attention? Focus on a problem. Now, how many problems have you identified in your own area? Or in Nigeria generally? Can we mention some of those problems? No. Oh yeah, voice them out. What are the problems you've seen in Nigeria? Unemployment, yes. Bad road. Thank you so much. Yes. Insecurity. Thank you so much, sir. Which other one? Yes. Foreign product. Too much dependence on foreign product. Poverty. Thank you. Which other one? Corruption. Thank you. Which other one? Lack of what? Poor amenities. Do you know that if we start mentioning these problems, we can keep mentioning problems till 7 p.m. Do we agree? Now, guess what? All these problems you mentioned, do you know that there are some people that are making a lot of money by solving these problems? Let's take power supply. If you have problem with power supply in your area, let me see your hands up. Everybody, Abi? Now, do you know that there are some people that are making money from solving that problem? Let me give you an example. In almost every big business you enter today, you will find a mechano. True or false? Are they not solving? Now, you may say that they are part of the problem. But I hope you know that they are also solving some of the problem. Right? Now, the owner of mechano, is he making money or not? Is he solving a problem or not? Now, do you know that there are people who are providing solar panels? Right? Solar. In my own tiny apartment, for instance, I have an inverter that I bought from somebody. I just saw it online and I bought it. Now, do you know what that inverter does? When there's light, I will charge the inverter. Once NEPA takes light, I will switch on my own light. In fact, sometimes in the middle of the night, when every other person is in darkness in the compound, I will have light. Why? Because of an inverter that I just bought from somebody, right? Now, that person that I bought it from, is he solving a problem? Is he making money? See, are we following? See, stop complaining about problems. Start thinking about solutions. Is somebody listening to me? You see, nobody ever became rich by complaining about problems. Nobody ever became famous and important and meaningful in society by complaining about problems. The world will always remember problem solvers, not problem creators. Every single time you complain about a problem, you are part of the problem. I want you to tap your neighbor, say stop complaining. No, you're not. Look for somebody and say stop complaining. You need to focus on a problem and more importantly, focus on the solution, what you can do to solve the problem. For instance, one major problem I've seen in a lot of cities is waste. How many of you have stepped out of your house and you were wondering whether the entire area, whether all of you are just dirty, or you couldn't even just explain why the area is so dirty? How many of you have been there? You just step out by the roadside and everywhere, refuse. Do you know that there are some people that are solving that problem and making money? I have a friend that told me that what he just does is he gives young people who are unemployed, he gives them money to go and pack plastic bottles. And then he sells those plastic bottles to Indians who recycle it. I'm like, eh? And he said, yes, that's his own business. Can you imagine that? You, when you see the plastic bottle, what will you do? You will even kick it. Eh? Some of our say, it's a goal, Abi. But somebody is making money from just gathering plastic. You see, you can make money from anything. There was a man, he's dead now, but his business is still on. Otumba Gaddafi. I don't know if you've heard about him. The man said, shit business is serious business. Now money. They provide mobile toilets. So when you go to weddings and all these parties and you want to use yourself, where will you go? DMT. Can you see somebody who is solving shit problem? shit problem. So pick a problem. Now, I want you to write down one problem that you want to solve. Right now. How many of us have biros and papers? Write it down. Now. Write. Write down one problem that you want to solve. Write it down very quickly. I want you to write down one problem that after this conference, you are going, in fact, starting from this conference, you're going to solve. Have we done that? Have you written it? Good. Number 2, build your capacity. Build your capacity. Build your capacity. You see, you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. Build your capacity. Now, when I say build your capacity, I mean read books, attend trainings, attend camps like this, where you meet people that are smarter. You see, if you are the smartest person in a room, you need to change the room that you are in. If you are the smartest person among your friends, you need new friends. You need new friends. You need to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you. And that takes me to number 3, which is surround yourself with mentors. Somebody say mentors. I can't hear you say mentors. You see, a mentor is somebody who is doing every day what you want to do someday. I'm going to take that again. A mentor is somebody who is doing what? Every single day what you want to do someday. You need to surround yourself with people like that. They've experienced what you're experiencing. They can guide you. They can give you advice. If, for instance, you are here, you are seeking admission, go and talk to people who are in universities. Those are your mentors. Ask them, how did they do it? If you're a fresh graduate and you're looking for a job, go and talk to people who already have jobs. Good job. Ask them, how did you do it? Are we together? That is exactly how to grow. So we talked about 1, 2, and 3. Number 4 is take bold steps. Take bold steps. Now, I'm sure some of you, when you listen to my profile, you were like, he's doing some interesting, amazing things. Let me tell you the truth, the secret. A lot of the things that you heard from my profile were opportunities that I saw on the internet. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. Tony Elumelu Foundation, it was just an application. I just saw it on Facebook. They said, apply. You're an entrepreneur. You need funding, grants, apply. And I applied. A lot of the things that I've done were just opportunities that I saw on the internet. The same internet where some youths... Okay, what do some youths use the internet for? Tell me. What are the bad things that some youths use the internet for? Sorry? Pornography. What else again? Chatting. What else again? Sorry? I can't hear you. Okay. I've not heard Yahoo. Fraud. Okay, thank you very much. Now, the same internet that some people are using negatively is the same internet that I've converted, that I've turned into my own opportunity bank. Right? Take big steps. Take bold steps. Do something different. Something drastic. Something unique. Make a bold move. You see, your life will stay static until you move. Let me take that again. Your life will stay static until you what? Somebody say move. Somebody say move. Now, I want you to personalize this. I want you to say to yourself, I am moving forward. No. Can you jump up on your feet? Jump up on your feet. Jump up on your feet now. Jump up. Jump up. I want you to say after me, I am moving forward. Now, I want you to take it very personal now. Take it muscular and walk and say, I am moving forward. Move. I am moving forward. Now, let's take it another step forward. I want you to look for 2, 3 people and walk to them and tell them, I am moving forward. Okay? 2, 3 people. I am moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, you are the solution to Nigeria's problems. You are the solution to Africa's problems. When I look into your faces, I see people who will change the narrative in Africa. I see people who will make so big a difference that they'll be asking, where are these kids from? Where are these youths from? I see the next Nelson Mandela. I see the next Barack Obama. I see people who are going to change the history of Nigeria so much so that even white people will want to come to Nigeria. Not to exploit Nigeria, but to come and see how we are making things happen in Nigeria. You are the change you've been looking for. You are the change you've been waiting for. Go forward and make a difference. My name is Gbenga. Thank you very much.